Oh, it does?
Yeah.
That's the way it works?
It's a Paul's workbench.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be a 0.1 or a 0.2 or a 0.6.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Take
Yeah.
one.
Take one.
Okay, hit it.
VideoCast Season 4, Episode 3.1, Paul's workbench.
Where's the drum roll?
I did it already.
No,
missed
you
it.
didn't.
You missed it.
You did a pint-sized drum roll.
You missed it. You missed it. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock.
Well,
Got
then-
the shirt on.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Today's
As
episode brought to you by XFactoryRC, as always.
as always.
Hijinks, no charge for that.
No charge for the hijinks.
Right, right.
Yeah, hijink. Oh, wait.
Don't, no. You ruined it.
Did I?
Yeah.
No way.
All
So-
right, speaking of hijinks,
Yes.
we did something pretty crazy this weekend.
Yes, we did.
But it was so much fun that we went back and did it again.
Yeah, because we're just...
Right. So see, I got slicks on. Right? But if you look really carefully, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of carpet fibers on my slicks.
Why?
Right.
I say why?
The
Would
weather
there be-
here in Northwest Ohio was terrible. You can ask any of the guys who went to the Michigan Series race at Tarkar,
Oh,
where they just got dumped on. I mean, we got like 8 inches of rain over 2 days.
yeah.
Something crazy. We
Yeah.
got a lot of rain.
So they did not
And,
race at Tarkar, did they?
No, I think
No.
they got a round in. Just like on Saturday, Old Man Billy and I went to Fort Wayne, which has a great outdoor 1/10 scale track. And we practiced in the morning. Everything was going swell. We got one round of qualifying in. I took TQ and two-wheel. It was a really good battle with a local named Preston, who's driving his B5 with an Infinity chassis. Shout out to Preston. I beat him by 0.04 of a second.
Wow.
Right.
After
like
6 minutes?
Yeah, after a 6-minute qualifier.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Were you running the same race together?
Yeah, oh yeah, we were in the same heat, and it was, they do live loop, and I had started late,
Uh-huh.
right? So I was on my last lap, and I started the lap with like a 1/10 lead. You know, he finished, right?
Yeah.
And so like, you know, the last like 15 seconds, I'm like cutting every corner as close as I can, you know what I mean? But you don't
Uh-huh.
want to wreck, give it away, but you know you can't go too slow. It was kind of nail biting, but I took it.
Yeah.
And then it rained, like
The
poured rain.
monsoon.
Right, right. Fort Wayne, Indiana is what 100 miles west of Northwest Ohio, Toledo, where we
Yeah,
live.
a little south.
And so it just got the rain earlier than they got it in Toledo.
Uh-huh.
And what I didn't know at the time is that Fort Wayne has a pretty dialed indoor carpet track. In fact, they hosted the VTA Nationals in February this year.
This year?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Huh.
so it's a really nice facility, and they've spent a lot of money and time redoing it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the hobby store especially.
Yeah, well, it's just better lit, better paint. Like, it's amazing what just freshening up a place will
By
do.
the way, we should give a shout out. It's called Summit
RC, right.
because it's in Summit County.
Oh, is that? Okay, I didn't know that.
And no, I'm wrong. It's the Summit City or something like that. But it's in Allen County. I screwed that up
Yeah.
big time. I mean, I used to deliver salt there.
Anyway,
You'd think I'd know.
But what I didn't know is that they had put together a carpet off-road track on their on-road track. And what they did is they put in new carpet like 8-10 months ago for their on-road track, okay? And what they did is they kept the old carpet and they simply lay the old carpet on top of the new stuff so you don't damage, roll your shock tower across their nice new carpet. They put the old carpet down and then they put a bunch of wooden ramps and carpet-covered ramps and kind of plexiglass-looking things on 2x4s and corner dots in the middle of the track. And they just create an off-road track. And so we got one round of qualifying done outside, and then we ran 2 rounds of qualifying inside, and we ran the mains on Saturday. And I had a great time, and since it was going to rain again on Sunday, I decided to go back and get some practice in. Only this time Chaz came along. And we wanted to show you guys. I know actually there are several carpet tracks, of course with the Worlds this year being on AstroTurf. There are several carpet tracks or AstroTurf tracks that have sprung up across the U.S. And I thought this was a great opportunity to kind of dial in a setup and get my car really working well on that style of surface so that anyone who's racing their XX Cube or their XFactory vehicles on carpet, we can help you out. And so without further ado, here is my cube as I ran it. I started out actually on J Concepts Gold Dirt Webs. So the J Concepts, what do you say? Dirt web indoor in clay compound. But at the end of the day, Saturday, I actually took it out. I was told that slicks don't work by the locals because there's too much, loose fiber stuff. But I put on my J Concepts Smoothies. These are actually my tires from the Cactus Classic back in March, and they worked really, really well.
Now,
kinda
you
one
did
of those.
apply some foreign substance, didn't you?
Put on traction compound, but we were putting traction compound on everything. They don't ban it. They don't disallow it. The normal carpet racers are all about their traction compounds on their foam and rubber tires, so we use it too. But the J Concept smoothies in gold compound were really hooked up, and I actually was able to go faster on the slicks than I was on the dirt webs. So the first thing I did through the day, this is on Saturday, is I threw on harder springs all around, you know, just that was kind of my first instinct, just stiffen the car up. And it wasn't very good, honestly. It was pretty rough. The car, it felt okay going into the corners, and then it would just want to snap around on me, and the rear end would come around pretty violently. When I say through the day on Saturday, I made it better. Like I said, I qualified third, but I was able to win the main after some good changes. Then on Sunday, we made a few further refinements, and I think my car was working really well by the end of the day Sunday. The major parts of the setup, I went to a stiffer two spring rates up on my rear spring. I went from a low-C white to a low-C pink in the back. But in the front, I originally went from a associated gray to an associated red, a 3.9 rate. And actually, my car was much better when I softened that back up down to a 3.6 rate, the associated blue spring. So that's what I'm running right now.
So you only changed,
yeah,
you
so
changed
only
two
went
rates
up,
in the back and
and
one
only
in the
one
front.
up front. And it was really weird because it felt like the front of my car was, when the car was going into the corner well and then the rear end would come around, it actually felt like the front end was still too soft. So I kept wanting to go up in spring rate. But it was actually coming back down in spring rate that smoothed out the car and gave it a nice steering balance through the corner. And I think it was really that the front was so stiff that the rear was trying to do all of the work into the corner and then would just get overloaded and dumped. And by softening the front, I was able to get a nice balance. You know, the chassis would just roll into the corner and it'd be balanced front to rear around the apex and then coming out.
So the way that you finished up on Saturday was up 2 rates in the back, up 1 rate in the front, but the same shock package.
No, I went up, so I've been running with 2-hole 1.6 pistons. I left those in, but my outdoor setup has been like 32 or 35 weight in the front and 27 or 30 weight in the back. And I actually ended the day Saturday on 37 weight all around. So
Okay.
much thicker shock oil to handle the extra forces and the higher speeds.
And also stiffer springs.
And the stiffer springs.
But you were in the same holes on the tower and on the arms.
Right, same mounting positions.
And same
as
camber
I usually
links.
run.
And same camber
I had
links.
gone the same front camber link that I usually run on all my dirt setups, but I did go to a longer rear link. So I went out on the hub 2 holes. I went from the A hole in the hub carrier to the C hole. Still the lowered hub towers though.
Okay. Okay.
And that's how I ended Saturday.
And so that's the way we started on Sunday. Is
Right,
that correct?
and so at the end of Saturday in the main, I was running like 13 flats. What do you say? I mean, it's a tight, small indoor track. And then when I put the J Concept smoothies on, at the end of the day Saturday, I was running 12 sevens was my fast lap. Mm-hmm. And on Sunday, you know, we showed up and I was able to run. I think I ran a 12.6 in a couple practice packs. You know,
Something
so
like
I got
that.
a little bit faster, just getting more consistent and more time on the car. But then I made one change, and
What was the problem that you wanted to solve? I mean, we've got some
rear end-
video here.
Right. So the rear end of the car wasn't, like, I got the car to be balanced and feel good through the corner, but the rear end wasn't acting right. And in fact, I used our trick and I looked at I had Chaz take some video of the car, and what the video showed me is that the rear end wasn't responding fast enough in roll to the car. So like, the rear end it felt too stiff going into the corner. You know, the front end would be diving in and trying to get the car around the apex, and the rear end would still be rolling and still transferring weight to the outside tire. And then as I'd come out of the corner, the rear end would still be dumped over and it wouldn't square up fast enough for me.
And so we see in the video here.
Right, so there's some video coming. This is the left-hand sweeper, and you can see.
And it's really not a sweeper. It's a 90 and
Right,
a short shoot
and then a
another
90. And you can see, like, the way the car is at the start of the day on Sunday. I'm really just like, I send the car around the first right-hand 90 degree, and then I'm on power all the way through the next corner, and I turn the whole thing into one corner, which sounds good, except that, like, I was applying throttle right on the edge of the car wanting to spin out on me.
And furthermore, could you get full throttle?
No, I knew I could go faster because I didn't feel like I had the side bite that I wanted.
If you could get the car to straighten out,
right,
you could nail the throttle down the little chute.
Now I really liked the outer hub position. The further out on the hub carrier you run in the back of the car, the more square the car drives. The more, you know, it wants to be square and straight when you're accelerating, or it wants to be leaned over in the corner. So I liked that hub, the camber position, but I wanted a shorter rear link. I wanted a higher roll center. And so what I did is I moved from the second hole, the middle hole on the aluminum rear ball stud mounts on my X6 Cube, to the outer hole, the very third hole, which you can see here, you know, that very outside hole. I just moved my camber link, you know, dialed back into the -1 degree of camber that I was running, and that got the car to act perfectly. I'll be honest, I was inspired. We still call that hole, internally we call that hole the E-Speed hole. Back when Ellis Stafford was running our cars, of course, with the X6 and the X6 Squared, he developed the E-Speed hangers. It was part number ES002, I believe.
Might have even been 1.
Was it 1? But it was this aluminum. We only had the inside and outside holes, number 1 and 2, on your X6 Cubed, and he developed this little aluminum hanger that bolted to those 2 holes and then moved the ball stud way outside to that third hole location. So when we developed the X6 Cube with those aluminum ball stud mounts, we included that third hole, and here it is on a high traction carpet track.
Ellis developed it for Astro
and grass. You know, and I was, like I said, I was looking at the video that Chaz shot, and I wanted my car to roll in quicker and square up quicker, and so I moved the ball stud to that third hole location.
And presto.
And presto, the car was much, much better.
And now it releases the corner and goes straight and then starts cornering again. But anyway, you can see in the second video that the car releases
that
the corner,
same corner,
squares up.
It turns in, squares up, goes through the short chute, then turns in, you know, goes through the next corner, squares up, and then there's that jump that I hit, you know.
Yeah.
And my lap times, the very first pack I ran, I was down to a 12.5. And the last pack of practice that I ran that day on Sunday, I got down to a 12.339.
The magic lap.
Right, it was a pretty perfect lap.
And in fact, we have that whole lap on video, and we'll get that up with a couple of the other ones as well.
You guys can watch it here. I thought my car looked really good. It was really nice and easy to drive, and it was a lot of fun. It was one thing I like about carpet, and I mean, I knew this in the back of my head going in, but I mean, it's so consistent. You can show up day after day, you know, as long as the layout's the same, your lap should be pretty similar.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thought you guys would like to see it.
You're going to put the setup sheet up?
Yeah, the whole setup sheet will be on XFactoryRC.com on the two-wheel drive page. If you go to the setup library button or link, we'll put up the whole setup there. It'll be linked below in the description of the video. And hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.
13.9.
Yes, yes.